Welcome to my video how to change brake pads on Shimano 105 road brakes. So first of all we've got to remove the safety clip that prevents a screw from coming out. This camera view doesn't show the clip, but there's a photograph here that shows where the clip is. Next we have to remove the screw that holds the pads in place. This can often be very difficult as it corrodes in. And now we just need to get hold of the pads and wiggle them out a little bit, and they are out. The reason that I've changed the pads is because I knew that they're very worn. One of the pads is actually worn to the backing material, and you can see here how far it's worn compared to the one on the left. So the pads I took out were Shimano 105 pads with the fins. What I'm going to fit in are some that I've used before, which are Noah and Theo. They're significantly cheaper price, and they can be got from eBay. So these are the resin pads, the blue ones are resin, and these are the very worn Shimano L05A pads that I took out. What we're going to do now is push the pistons back into the calipers so that there's space between the disc and pistons to fit the new pads. I've got a Park Tool PP 1-point tool. You don't need this. If you're careful, you can use a screwdriver or another flat tool. I didn't film it, but this is the result before and after to show how much you have to push the pads back. So I've slotted in the new pads here and just spinning the wheel to make sure that there's no initial rubbing. Looks okay there. Now I'm going to refit the retention screw. I've got an old tube of copper slip, which is an anti-seize compound that I'm going to use to ensure that it doesn't seize. As I said at the beginning, this is a very common fault for Shimano calipers. You need to make sure that the bolt is kept loose. So you saw there, I tightened it up and then backed it off about a quarter of a turn. I'm now just going to refit the safety clip. Just holding it with a pair of pliers. It's just a little bit easier than trying to get it on with your fingers, but you saw how easily it just clipped on there, got it right first time. Spinning the wheel, applying the brake lever, spin it a few times just to make sure the pads fit, settle in properly. Just a few times there. The pads aren't going to get bedded in doing this. You need to ride it and get some load on it really and get them hotter. So because one of the pads was worn down to the backing material, I'm just going to run a bit of emery paper lightly over both sides of the disc just to sort of take the worst of it out. It's not going to fix it. The other side of the disc is the worst one. That was the side where the pad had worn out. But I'm just going to rub it over just to clean it up just a little bit and try and roughen the surface from the deposits of the previous pad. So I finished lightly rubbing the disc, got the bike in a high gear, just spinning the wheel a bit more quickly than I had before, applying the brakes a few times just to make sure everything is okay, and I'm happy with that as a job.